Well, I mean, I guess the first thing is that they should practice their craft and perfect it. I mean, I guess you can't perfect anything, but I think the less expected thing that they absolutely need to do is market themselves. And I think a lot of authors are really resistant to that, but it's such a vital part of publishing now. As an example, and this is kind of the example we always use, but it's absolutely true, is that 10 years ago when I wrote proposals, I would call the author and I'd say, so theoretically, if the publisher wants you to do a book tour, go on Oprah, be interviewed by radio stations, will you do that? And they would usually say yes. And sometimes actually they'd say no, which is more challenging, but happened. But usually they'd say yes. And then the entire section of promotional activities would be, the author is willing and available to do book tours, radio appearance, interviews, and TV appearances. That would be it. And now it could not be more different. When you are doing a proposal as an author, when you're going out, a publisher absolutely expects you to have a platform already, and that's even if you're writing fiction. They expect you to be on Twitter talking to other authors, to be blogging, to be publishing in smaller magazines, to have a network of people, to be talking to bookstores, to be able to say, I can get these bookstores and they will do events with me. For nonfiction, it's even more vital. They, absolutely expect you to be seen as an expert, to have, 10,000 plus followers on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, whatever your social media thing is, or all of them combined. So it's really, really different in that way. And I think it's really vital for an author to be successful to do that now. And even sort of in the micro level of that is when an author is interacting with an editor, is the expectation is that you're very enthusiastic about what you're doing. For example, I just recently work for hire author, for a small project recently, and I had two authors that I wanted to talk to, and both had the same level of experience. They're both really talented. They both could do it for the same amount of money. There wasn't really any major difference between the two of them. But one I talked to, and she was so excited to do it, and it was going to be great, and she could make all these crazy turnaround times, and she loved the subject, and maybe she would go to Washington D.C. and do this extra research, and immediately emailed me back after we got off the phone and said that just to reiterate how excited she was. And the other author was like, "Yeah, that sounds fine." And I picked the author that was really enthusiastic. And I think that is absolutely across the board in publishing now, is that's what you're seeing. And whereas that really wasn't completely the case a few years ago, but it is absolutely the case now.
Thank you for listening. Please review our other available content for help writing, publishing, and marketing your book. If you have any questions about the Author Learning Center, please contact us by email at authorsupport@authorlearningcenter.com.